Okay, I'm gonna see if anybody comes. I decided to do this because sometimes you gotta challenge yourself a little bit. You just gotta see what happens, and I haven't gone live in forever on this channel. Literally forever. So, I was like, "I'll just go live and see what happens." I guess I'll start out with why I didn't go live for quite a while. So, basically, I didn't because I just got, like, really insecure for some reason or, like, nervous or, like, I don't know. This sounds so weird to even talk about, but I was like, "I don't know if I trust myself," which is really cheesy when I think about it now, but I don't know. I don't care about anything anymore, so I don't even know if anybody will come. I'm just gonna be alone, which is sad. Um, Anyways, I'm still gonna do my health update tomorrow because yeah, but I just don't it's kinda tough to do a video tonight because I got my eyes I went to the eye doctor, oh my god, I can't even talk. I went to the eye doctor, and so my eyes were dilated, and then I was just like, "I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do." Honestly, which I feel like is more honest, and I think I needed to just try something different. So I really wish I could do live reactions and stuff, but I don't think my computer is that great. I don't think my internet's that great here in Derry, Alabama, so I feel like I'm kinda screwed, but I haven't gone live on here. I think it's literally been since, like, oh, thank you so much. I love your name. I love your name, Alex. Um, or maybe you have a different name, but I just think that's funny. Um, Let me actually zoom this in. I made this, like, really small for some reason on my end. But thank you so much. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, I think the point is I was just like, "Let's just try it. Let's just go live. Let's just see." Because we need to I feel like I wanna be more connected a little bit to you guys, like, in general. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Hello, Alexander. Apparently we all just follow people with the same name. I'm just kidding. But how are y'all doing? I like I said, I'm just like I feel like the photosphere I feel like I'm in a weird place as an activist, and I feel like the photosphere is in a weird place. I did watch a TikTok today where somebody was like, "I'm still here, for all my fat babes out there, I'm still here. Like, there's like a dozen of us left." And I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." I don't even know why I have headphones in. I'm not gonna watch anything. But I was just like, I used to be a live girly pop. I used to go live all the time. And I was like, and then I became kind of a pussy. I'm just gonna say it. I kind of pussed out a little bit. I feel like it's good to just be honest. And I was like, let's just do this. Um, let's just see. Oh, nice. Nice. You better be counting and you better not let it ruin your goals. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just being extra. But no, it is weird. I feel like, oh, geez. I feel like I'm in flux because I'm sitting here like I'm transitioning out of this deficit. And I feel like everybody's either like not in one or they're like totally going hard right now. And then the photosphere is like, I swear it's in shambles, which I'm happy about it, to be honest. Like, it's probably a good thing, but it is like tough because most of the stuff I was looking forward to react to, like, I think I probably will react to the jock scientist next week, but there wasn't like a lot. And I'm just like, wow, I don't know. I didn't think it would be like this. It's not vegetarian for me for my coworkers, so yes. That's funny. I just had to say that because 'cause I'm being extra, you know how it is. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know, the serotonin goes up. I feel smug all the time, and I was just like, "I'm confident again. Let's just go live. Let's just do it." And I really wish I could actually react to things live because I think it would be so much fun. And again, I used to be a live girly pop before I was losing weight. In the before times. I still did go live quite a bit until I was tortured, then it just died. Then I was like, "I can't do it." I was like, "I can't do this." You can see my rosy cheeks. Do you see the serotonin cheeks, y'all? You can kinda see. This camera kinda sucks, but it's there. So that's my creative bankruptcy right here. That's the not good for the YouTube serotonin that we got. But we do love the iron. I do love looking alive, barely coming back to life, which I will talk about tomorrow, probably for my health update. Unless if I don't, maybe I won't. Maybe this will be it. But how are you guys doing? I know this is a weird time to like diet and stuff. I don't know how many of you guys are. Okay, I'm in my vanity weight era. I was low energy and struggling, so increased my calories to feel better, and now I'm getting back on the horse. Oh my god, that's so hard. Yeah, for me, I kinda just phased out of that where I was like, "I can't do this anymore." Like, I just had a moment, where I was like, "This is too far." Like, I'm gonna call it jacket gate forever. Like, when I tripped out about the Australia jacket, I was like, "I can't do this. Like, this is too this is too much." And I don't think I'm ever gonna do 2 pounds per week again. I might do a cut next year, I don't know. But again, I'm in flux. This is such a weird time. It's really, really weird, and I feel like that's okay to say because it's weird for fat activists too. Um, so it's just weird. It's a weird time, and it's like, I know I gotta just continue on, and I will, but I think it's just hard when it's like when the journey itself is getting in my way, where it's like I feel less creative. So then I'm like, I don't know what the hell to do. This happened in March, by the way, too. Like, I love spilling tea. I'm just gonna spill tea on this. You guys are catching me at a moment. But like in March, oh my God, I was so creatively bankrupt. It was terrible. I don't know how I held it together. I think I just like, you know what? I went on vacation in March. So I took like a little bit of time off, took just like a smidge. And then I was like, it was bad. I was just so creatively bankrupt in March. I had, like, no creativity left. I didn't know what to do. It was so bad. But, I mean, this is kinda boring probably for you guys. You guys are probably like, "What the hell are you even talking about?" But, I'm obviously gonna respond to your guys' comments. Hello, Bubble. Traditional revolutionary. Love the oxymoron name. You inspired me to start taking weight loss seriously, and you also said if you can't start now because of the holidays, you'll never start. 2 weeks of calorie deficit and light keto. Yeah, I mean, I think there are some seasonal aspects, but if you can do it, like if you're relatively healthy, then obviously you can do it. You know what I mean? Um, Most people are not super huge or even like morbid or anything like that. Like even last year, I was in my bra era, I was class one. I only had to take 3 weeks off, and that was after doing it, like, the whole year, basically. Um, like, I think I only took a break when I went to LA in August of 2024, and basically, other than that, I had to eat more in the summer of 2024 because I was just too hungry. But other than that, I was really strict, like, the whole year. So I took 3 weeks off last December, and I had to. I just had to. I couldn't do it. I couldn't make it. I was a little too hypo. But then I got right back on. like on the 28th or so of December and just kept going. So it's like it depends on the person, but if you can do it, then do it. Just realize it might go a little slower, especially if your body's really attuned to the seasons or you live in a very seasonal area. So if it's like really cold right now, then it might be that like it might slow it down, but it'll come off later, you know. And I don't think there's anything wrong with starting at any time. It's just I think when you're really big, it's more strategic in the spring, basically. It's my overall stance. But yeah, as far as like excuses or whatever, if it doesn't matter to you, then no. Like I'm still doing it. It's the holidays. Like I'm still in deficit. I'm 1.2 pounds. Tomorrow I'll be at 1 pound. Oh my gosh. So I'm just gonna finish it through, but I'm a lot healthier this year. So you have to think about that too, like how healthy you are. And so I just say don't feel bad about it at this time. But if you don't feel bad, then just yeah, you can do it. I found you last month and it's amazing to see your past videos. Your steadfastness was out of this world. Thank you so much. Thank you. So glad I found your channel. I love your takes. Thank you. Thank you, Shay. I know I haven't gone live in forever. That's why. I basically said I was a pussy. So I didn't go live. But it's because too, like part of the weight loss is it's like it makes you like for me at least, it made me very like reactive. And so I didn't want to like be that way live. I didn't feel like it would be a good look. And you know, I feel like there's a reason why there's like a lot of low cows that are really big. It's because it makes you kind of crazy. So I didn't want to do all that. And I could only imagine the lives that would have been when I was MSP, because it would have been something else, I can tell you that. Probably I'd have just gotten on here and I would have just yelled like the whole time. And so I was like, no. But I don't feel like that anymore, which is crazy. So here we are. I hit my vanity weight last year, 80 pounds down, was still in the diet mindset last year. I'm going ham this Thanksgiving. Oh, good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm going to count. I have a food scale. I'm going to be like counting. I have to be pretty strict still till I'm done. And then on Christmas, if I want to, I can be a little bit more lax that day. But yeah, I'm phasing out. It's like a new chapter. It's kind of like emotional in a way. And I don't know. It's just weird. Like for me, when you've lost as long as I have, it's like, I don't even know. It's like a part of yourself is gone, you know? And I feel like for me, it was like my confidence and kind of like my, I want to say my confidence. Yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know why I'm trying to think of a more complicated. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't have any weight issues. Oh, let me look at some of your guys' comments. Okay. You're the first person I've heard mention the serotonin and dopamine aspects of weight loss. I'm trying to understand it more. Yeah, so I still am too, you know. I mean, I think in the beginning I was thinking my serotonin was going down, like when I was super morbid, but I realized with perspective, it was like my brain was becoming more sensitive to the elevation that was there. And then it kind of went normal. So when I was just like over like the bra era and the mid-sized princess era, my serotonin was just normal. It wasn't high or low, it was just average. And then the dopamine went low. So then I went to my fake extrovert era that I've talked to you guys about, which that's partially why I didn't want to go live either, because I'm not actually extroverted. So it's like if I go live and I'm just like crazy, like most of the time it was fine. I hardly ever edit my videos. So you guys see, like I did fine. But I was just paranoid about it because it's like I'm usually a person where I think before I speak all the time. And I just wasn't like that for like a year, which is crazy. Um, so yeah. And then now I'm going back to normal. But yeah, it's totally related because they both have to do with appetite. But I would say serotonin is really the appetite related one. When you're in that vanity weight, then your serotonin starts to go down with a deficit, which is not the worst, but it can just be like weird. I don't know. It's like you're not as grounded and you don't care about what other people think as much and stuff, which is fine, but it can be a little bit unbalanced, I guess you could say. Like, it's why you see a lot of like fitness influencers, they go on these very long tangents about things. It's because they're in a deficit. So their serotonin's lower, which it can make you more creative. But they have the privilege of being extroverted, and I don't. So I just got introverted again, and I just lost all my magic. Just kidding. I lost my alphabet. I lost it. Anyways, let me continue. um, I don't have any weight issues, but I like hearing your spiritual slash dopamine takes, and I agree with you on a lot of nutrition stuff. I appreciate that so much. I know my TikTok I've been doing, it's mostly about the spiritual stuff. I've just been doing a lot of astrology on there, and I have gotten some views and stuff. So I'm like, okay. But it's easier to just obviously to split things. I think for me, the vanity weight era, it just went there because I'm naturally that way. But it just got real deep. It got like a little too deep, and I was like, oh, I need to stop. But I still think it really forced me to deal with my avoidance, and I really think that that was life-changing, honestly. So my vanity weight era has been life-changing, honestly, and I understand why so many fitness influencers talk about how when they got into fitness, like, everything changed for them, and it's because, like, sometimes when you're healthier in general and the serotonin goes down, it can kind of, like it helps you to change how you think easier. You have to think of serotonin as stability, which obviously if it's too low for too long, then you're like really unstable, right? But sometimes that's fasting aspect or like, when you're in a vanity weight era, when you're not actually overweight and you're in that deficit, especially deep, then it can kind of like it opens the mind a lot. And I think, you know, it depends. I think for some people, you'll see them talk about, like, politics and religion a lot. Like, you'll see that a lot I see it all the time with fitness influencers. They'll talk about, like, money, their beliefs about money or dating. They'll be like, "You have to do this, you have to do that." Like, that's why it happens. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Obviously, if you're healthy about it, from a physical perspective, but yeah, it forced me to deal with that, and that was not, like, weight related, you know? Like, it kind of was, but it wasn't, like, it was me, and I think that that's been the weirdest part of being average, is that it's not about my weight anymore, like, everything is about me now. It's like, "Oh, okay," you know? So I definitely have more, vanity weight era videos coming. I have one planned. I'm probably gonna put it out towards January, and then I'll have to wrap up the vanity weight era as I go into the next one, the recomp era. But anyways, let me read more of your comments. Yeah, I only need to lose 30 pounds for healthy weight. This is just the first time I'm actually going to do it. Your video took the emotion out and the uncertainty out of the process. Took out the emotion, the uncertainty. Oh yeah, you can totally do it. I want you to know you totally can. It does take discipline, especially if you only have about 30 pounds. That's mostly going to be, I don't know how tall or short you are, but you'd be like mid at most, and it'd be mostly vanity for sure. So it's challenging and on a physical level too, because some of the spiritual benefit it comes from taking on such a strong like physical routine. Like I went to the gym 3 days a week. I would do 2 days full body, and I was lifting really heavy. And then doing that in a deficit, it's intense, but it works. Obviously don't lift too heavy. But for me, I did because I was able to start lifting heavier in the mid era. I just put in all the mid-size rage into the gym, basically, tried to get some kind of production out of it. Um, and so that can really like, even if it's just, like, working out or even cardio or whatever, like, all of that, it does contribute to the spiritual aspects if you allow it to. Or even just, like, higher level thinking, honestly, like, it makes you think about things deeper, which is not a bad thing, in my opinion. I'm planning on being a healthy weight for my birthday in April. Okay, that's great. I think you can do it, especially if you're more, like, just overweight or mid or whatever, you can do it. It's pretty easy, honestly. It's just you gotta be strict. That's the only thing about being mid is, like, to lose, you have to go to the gym. I don't care what people say, I'll be honest. You need to go to the gym, and you need to be strict. So you can't be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go off for a day or 2." Like, you can't really do that. When you're in vanity, then it's like I have to be really strict, basically, then you have to, like, up it a notch, and it's just kinda different, but, yeah, just being overweight, just be strict. So, make that plan. You can be done in a few months. It doesn't take that long, honestly, and I think that that's a worthy goal. I think you can do it. I'm gonna tell you, I think you can do it. Um Okay, next question. Are you keeping the same fitness routine as you phase out of this? No. So I just dropped my Tuesday gym yesterday. So I kept it up for the first month. And then yesterday I was just like, I really hate Tuesday gym. I'm not really trying to lose like that anymore. I don't really have to do it anymore. So I just dropped it like a sack of potatoes. And I felt so much relief from not going on Tuesday, like, I really hated it. Like, I love my 2 full body days, I love them. I go Thursday and Sunday, so, like, I'm looking forward to going tomorrow, but that Tuesday, I did not like it. It just felt like it was such a, like, gym life balance was just so off. Like, I just felt like I was always at the gym because when I go for hours because I do full body, so it's a long time. It's, like, around 3 hours when I go, and so it was turning into, like, another hour, and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh," like, "I don't wanna do this anymore," like but I did do it. I did it for a long time. I think I did it probably around June-ish, June, July, until now. But my absolute strictest routine, it really was between, I would say, September and October, those 2 months. It was very, very, very strict, and I literally described it as oppressive. That's how bad it was to me, but I am an emotional girly pop, so keep that in mind. I think a lot of people coulda just dealt with it, but for me, I was like, "No, I can't." Um, or like I could never do that very, very long term. It was very strict, but it worked. It does work. But yeah. So anyways, I'm not doing everything. Other than that, I'm keeping it the same. So those 2 gym days, I'm keeping it the same. And I would eat like 150 calories more on Tuesdays and I just didn't. So I just kept it at the deficit. And then I eat 500 more on gym days because I do full body. So that's still going to continue tomorrow. And then I go up in calories tomorrow. So I'm going to go up, I'll be at 2,400 basically each day. And that's still a pound. Isn't that crazy? That's where I'm like, I literally think about it now and I'm like, I don't know how the hell I ate so much all the time. I don't know. I'm just like, it's just so weird. I think a vanity weight era too, it really puts you in perspective because you actually know like what it is to be like genuinely very reductive or like pretty reductive. And then when you're not, then it's like, oh wow, I was just drastically overeating before. Um, okay, let me see. Christian mystics fasted frequently for the spiritual benefits. I could totally see that. I could totally see it. Speaking of serotonin and dopamine, have you ever taken psychiatric meds? SSRIs are notorious for a weight gain side effect. So I took one that lowered my dopamine, which it was a terrible decision. It was kind of made honestly in ignorance by my doctor. I did not have a good experience with it. It was an extremely low dose. I don't even want to say what it was, but I did take it. It did help with my anxiety a little bit, but it kinda changed my personality. Again, though, that was not an SSRI that I know of, but it did lower the dopamine, and I think my dopamine was already low, so that was a terrible decision. Um, but it wasn't made by a psychiatrist, for the record, so it was just my general care like, my general doctor at the time, but I regret it, honestly. So I don't know, I've never been on an SSRI, um, so but I have taken something that lowers dopamine, and yeah, it wasn't it I don't know if it affected all I will say is, like, I had the worst re you know, I took that in 2016 to 17, and then in 2018, I had a horrible episode with Hinge, and I don't know if it was connected, but it could have been. But there was a lot of factors, so I don't wanna just single it out, and I don't demonize medication, like, I don't I understand, I just all I want is for people to understand there is an interaction between weight and those things, and sometimes medications may need to be adjusted or shifted throughout a journey. That's all I really advocate for as far as activistically, but I don't personally take anything at this time. So, yeah. 5'4" 35-year-old female. That's me, no lifting. I don't want calluses, but I do work out. You could lift. You don't have to lift super heavy, but you could lift. I think it's good to lift. But you don't need to lift super heavy or crazy or like every day or anything. And you can wear gloves like I do because I'm a princess myself. So I wear gloves and I don't really have calluses. So just saying. Anyways, that's how I feel about being fit for life. In a way, I'm in a perpetual vanity era because I'm serious about taking care of myself. How you do anything is how you do everything. That makes sense. I mean, I think I loved Whitney's take where she talked about like raising your standards and stuff. I think that so resonated when I heard that, and I really loved that message. I think there's something beautiful about that, and again, it's very, like, self-directed, I think it's healthier to put it towards yourself in a sense, where it's like, "I'm gonna raise my standard. I'm gonna do a little bit better than not being overweight," I'm gonna just kinda do it, and then I just kinda got used to it. I'm never gonna do the deep deficit again, so that's over. I think the most I would do in the future is a pound per week, so I'm never doing that again. It's just not necessary. And then I'm gonna do a body recomp era where I do plan on building muscle, next year, particularly from February. I'm gonna give January as my maintenance phase as kind of a buffer or a restoring period, and then I think I'm gonna shift to the gym in February and launch the next era. So, there you have it. Hello, the honorable audio. Balanced body, balanced mind. Then I have the actual bandwidth to be truly kind and caring, etc., present and aware. Yeah, it did help me too. I When I was doing this, I had a lot of heart chakra work basically. I knew that there was something wrong, and that heart chakra work led me to dealing with my avoidance. And I'm like, wow. So it's kind of crazy. But I think because it's like I'd hold the crystals or whatever, and I would think about it a lot. It makes you think about it. And I journaled and I did all these things. I did a lot of stuff. Um, and it was a lot of like, there was, yeah, just thoughts about like how I've approached dating in the past and stuff, and how I'm trying to change things now and um, not be avoidant, And then there's all these people that freaking hate avoidant people online, which is kind of funny. So I just hear, like, I see all those comments too, where they're like, avoidants are horrible. Nah, 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 nah. And I'm just like, look, I get it. It's bad. But sometimes anxious attached people are a mess too. The tests, the I'm gonna make you jealous by trying to be with somebody else in front of you and stuff like that type of stuff. It does not help an avoidant to not avoid. I'll put it to you that way. So, and that is a common pairing, or like it's a common dynamic. And, you know, if we're not careful, we can feed into each other, you know? So there you have it. But anyways, that's the kind of stuff I was thinking about a lot and what I was looking at in my Vanity Way era a lot. Hello, Lady Elder. I'm glad you came to the live. Okay. Hello, Tan Popo Chan. I never know. I'm the worst with names. Hello, the typecast. I don't lift because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a studio workout and class type of girly. Yeah, I'm not necessarily judging for not lifting. I'm just saying I would just start slow and like low weight. Basically, I think that that's the best. I definitely started low weight. Like I literally told my mom, I was like, just go to the gym and like literally just use the machines and don't put any weight on it. I was like, you need to move your muscles, period. Because my mom's diabetic and stuff. And again, she was having a little bit of psychological side effects from Ozempic. So it's real, you know? So, and she's just at a diabetic dose. So I was like, if it keeps getting that bad, I'm like, you might have to change something. But then she ended up taking a different thing. I'm kind of putting her business out there, but she took something else and now it's working. So, I mean, just be aware, like you might have to adjust or shift medications or something, you know, like there's an interaction. And sometimes it's not always that the answer is to just completely get off of something, because with something like Ozempic, maybe it needs to be compensated for a little bit, you know? So it's tricky. It's really tricky. But I think she's okay now. So I think that's good for sure. Okay, maybe you've already addressed this, but would you consider sharing what I eat in a day to get an idea of how you consume calories? I did do it. I think I did it on a members video, which my diet was really weird at the time because I was super strict. So I think maybe I will talk about it at some point, but I'll talk about like when I was extremely strict. So it's like everything I was eating was to keep my hunger and energy levels in check. Things are different now. Like, for example, I have a lot more fiber now that I have more calories. Whereas in the past, I couldn't have as much because it would kind of hold me back and it would make me tired. So everything I ate was like really stimulating. But now I don't really have to do that because I'm eating more. So yeah, but I can totally, I probably should do that at some point. Even just to kind of talk about like examples of it, basically. I don't lift because of my fibromyalgia. I get you. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. I didn't start lifting either. Like I did a lot of walking. I was a walking girly pop when I was really big. But I did lift a little bit in 2021, but I could only sustain it for like 2 months or something, and then I have to stop. So trust me, I've been at places where I couldn't really do it too, but I can now since my bra era. That's why I made a big deal about 365, because that was the first time I made it a year at the gym. And then now I'm totally gooch. Oh my gosh, traditional revolutionary. To be messy for a minute, I have to admit I miss the Fab Fatties, and you only see reacting to them. It made me look forward to Thursdays. I know. Well, I know. I think for me, like, they were such a great example of the problem at such a severe level that it's like I could totally like they were really good to react to for that reason because they were just so severe, you know? Oh my gosh. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for becoming a member. But yeah, they were so like deep in it and everything they said was about it. It was like a gold mine. Like I'll probably still react to more if they stay up, especially in January, because I'm gonna be doing daily January. So it will be happening more. Hello, the budget affair. I'm at a phase where I realize that so much of my identity is focused around Hinge that now that I'm not food center, I've been struggling with what to fill that new time in my day/life. Yeah, that's a little it's I I mean, it's definitely a thing. I think which I don't know how big you are, but that's kinda tortured-y, it's a little bit tortured. But I guess it could be MSP too, it depends. But they feel different. I really wanna do a video where I compare, like, tortured versus Mid-Sized Princess because they're, like, similar but totally different. Like, they're almost completely opposite, but they're also really similar. And I really need to, like, sit down and, like, flesh it out and, like, write it all out and then talk about it so that people could kinda know what if they're more severe or not. Um, Because it's like I think when you're tortured, it's like your entire mental matrix. It's like, I don't know how to do anything without this, Like, it's like I would think about things and I'd be like, "My life is chaotic right now. I don't know what to do." And I'd, like, start crying and I'd be like, "I don't know what to do. Everything's out of control. I don't know. I don't know what to do." And it's like everything was so overwhelming and I was just like, "Oh my gosh." Um, Whereas, like, MSP, it's like, I'm so bored. Oh my gosh, everything is so boring. It's like, "Oh, why is life so boring? I don't wanna do this. I don't wanna work anymore. Like, I don't wanna do this." That's kinda how MSP was. It's like, now that I'm not tripping about this, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like, what do people even do for fun? What do people even do? Yeah. So it's kind of a different vibe? They're both valid, though. They are valid. Um, but yeah, it's just funny, but because, like, I was so oh my gosh, I don't know. I will always say, like, long live the MSP era. Like, I know I hated it so much, but I love looking back on it, and I'm so glad I was, like, so active on here during it because it's just so funny to me now. Um, yeah. Anyways, I have dealt with, like, a void in the vanity weight era too, like, becoming average, which I probably should talk about it. I think I'm going to. But there's a huge void of, like, your weight no longer being an issue, and it's like, "Oh my gosh," especially if you've been big for a very long time or whatever, and then it's just over, and nobody says anything about it, and you don't have anything it's like, you literally like, especially being so average, it's like I would look in the mirror and I just literally would have nothing to say or whatever. It's like, "Okay, whatever?" Um, it was so weird. Especially having that toxic ritualistic past where it was like, I could literally, like, look in the mirror and it was like going on a roller coaster? It's crazy. It's crazy how, like, we can wire our brains through repetition to be so hyperstimulated just by looking at the mirror, and for that to be gone, and it was like, I literally feel nothing. It was so bizarre. And then now I have to deal with a little bit of a void too with, like, I'm not trying to lose weight anymore. And it's like, "Whoa." Like, "What the fuck do I do now?" But it's not really like MSP or tortured, it's just empty. It's, like, completely empty. It's really bizarre. But things come in, so you just gotta let it stay empty for a while. Shea says, "I miss the Fab Fighters reactions too." I know. It's so crazy that they quit, but I can kinda see why. They couldn't get along either. That girl Sam says, "I go and watch 3 to 4 times a week, and I have noticed improvement just from that. So underrated." Oh, it's great, especially if you're very big, but even just in general, it's really good because it helps. Because sometimes we're not perfect with our tracking, and so when you walk a lot, it kinda covers your bases, to where it's like you're still gonna be in that deficit. Traditional Revolutionary says, "They were just so delusional, I couldn't believe some of the stuff." Oh, yeah, I know. It's wild. truly, and they were just so severe that it was, like, such a good example, and I could literally just, like, dive into everything and, like, tell you guys where it was coming from and stuff, and it's, like, literally, like, some of the episodes, it's, like, I literally have to pause it, like, after every single thing they said because it was that crazy. Um, I've taken up learning to draw, and that has helped. I started with coloring. Oh, I love that. I know, I need to get back into knitting so bad. When I was in my low dough era, my 2 low dopamine eras, I couldn't really knit, I couldn't focus on it, but I have my knitting here. I have some of these. So this scarf I never wore. I'm gonna wear it this year, but it's really you can't really see it, but it was a pain in the ass. It's called a seed stitch. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done seed stitch, but it is so annoying, and this yarn was so slippery, and it was so annoying to deal with, but it is a gorgeous Prussian blue scarf, and I love it. And I usually make long scarves, but this one, it was not long. I was like, "Honey child, I'm done. Like, screw that." But I like the way it looks. Seed stitch is gorgeous, but it's such a pain. But it's really like it looks like mermaid scales or something. It's really nice. So I'm gonna wear it this year, this winter for sure. And then I still have I have all my stuff over here because I had to wash it. I still have my All Too Well scarf. This one I did, it was directly Tay Tay inspired. I was like, I want that. So there's my All Too Well. And then I have the hat too, which you guys saw this like all the time last or like this past January. I wore this all the time. Thank you so much. But anyways, I just like throw everything down here. All my stuff is like all over here. I have like a mid-sized princess wig right here. Have Diet Culture vampire costume over here. Like everything's all over the place. Got the witch hat. Like my mom hates it so much, but that's life, you know? It's the life of a flop girl. No, I'm just kidding. That's the life of a show girl, you know? Anyways, a show girl. Okay. Let me see. Okay, Lady Elder Snake says, I started my weight loss this year in February at 260. Highest weight was 300, and I'm now 190. I think the boring part is real. You hit the nail. You hit what I was saying on the head. Yes, I think if you started at 300, that's tortured. So a little bit of tortured. Then, yeah, so you're 190 now. Now you're getting to MSP, I would say, depending on your height. I'm curious, how tall are you? I want to know. The mid era is on the horizon. I keep saying that to Angelica. And she's just like, she's going to do so fine, you guys. I'm going to be so mad. She's not even going to be bothered by being mid. I'm like, how do people just exist and not being bothered by the mid-sized princess era? Like, I hated it. It drove me nuts. That girl Sam says, Alex, I love that you're a Lana fan like me. What is your favorite album? I'm a Born to Die girly pop, honestly. I think there was just something to me, it's just I know it's kind of basic, but I just adore Born to Die. Absolutely adore it. Like the whole album. Yes, thank you. Hit like, please. I agree. I agree. Terry is strange. Please hit like. It was so good. R.I.P. The Fab Fatties era. I know it's so crazy. And I love how I even predicted. I was like, they're probably not gonna do anything without Ali, and they didn't. But I will say this is so bad. So I was on TikTok because I was looking for stuff, and I looked at the Fab Fatties, and I went to click on like their most recent thing because I wanted to see if anybody had commented, and I accidentally liked it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was so like passive aggressive. I unliked it, but that is so bitchy. They're probably like, wow. So, you know, I'm at my MSP stage now. Okay, okay. There's a lot of energy. You just got to channel it. You just got to channel it into productive stuff. It's good for that. I just read that one. Seed stitch is a pain. It really is. Oh, nice. I watched like some YouTuber knit, and then I just learned from them. And that was like years ago. Thank you so much. I cannot crochet in the summer, I just can't, but I love to crochet in the fall and winter. I get that. I mean, I'm not a crochet girly pop, but I my friend is, and I she likes to make the stuffed animals, I forgot what they're called, or, like, the, like, figurines and stuff, which they have some cute stuff at Five Below. I'm kind of like I've been going to Five Below, like, all the time. I started sewing again, can't snack when you're messing around. That's true. That's so true. Even, like, when you're doing this I need to do, like, another I should do another scarf or so I really like to do scarves. I'm, like, a scarf person. I just love 'em. I could make, like, 5,000 scarves. I just love it. But I could do, like, a super complicated one. Those are good to, like they're kinda mind numbing because you literally can only think about the fricking project, and you have to literally like, this hat was oh my gosh, that was so hard. And it's not, like, hard, like, it was hard to execute, it's just I had to count every single stitch. And sometimes you have those projects where it's like, I have to count every single thing because there's, like, a whole pattern on there. So I had to count everything, and sometimes those are good, and then sometimes I don't know why I'm burpy, gosh. And sometimes it's good to just, like, have a passive one that's kinda easier where you can just kinda do it. Um, so it's I don't know. That's kinda interesting, like, but I was just so not focused. Like, I do have a scarf I've been working on, like, all year, but I just took it, like, when I went on the plane, and I would do it on the plane, and then I just took forever. Like, I just haven't been focused on it at all, but now that I'm, like, super introverted again, I might I just might. I'm relatively new watcher. Would you ever use a GLP-1? I have never used one. I would do it if I became diabetic. Personally, I would never for weight loss, no. So I'm not against the medication at all. I just think there's a lot of caveats there, and I think people need to have a healthy amount of skepticism and consideration of it. You know, it's not just like a free for all. Okay, you're 5'7". Okay, I would consider that MSP. 'Cause that's a little taller. And um 190, 5'7". I think you're getting to mid. You're at least within like a hair's breadth. So you'll see. Maybe you will have the MSP era. Gosh. All I can say is you just gotta like it's such like a because people think like MSP. Okay, here's the tea. A lot of people think that MSP is internal issues, but it's not. The issue with MSP is the assertion. You have to like assert that you're no longer fat. That's what's hard. That's the actual work. And then you have to keep doing it. And then the process is kind of strict at that point, and then that's annoying. And then you feel like you're doing all this work and you're not getting any benefit because people won't shut up. Yes, I did. That's that girl Sab I did. Mid-Sized Princess. It was something I witnessed a lot, like, last autumn, like, in my bra era. I was like, "What is up with these people?" I'm like, "They're acting like losing weight was the worst thing that ever happened to them," you know? I was like, "What is wrong with these people?" Then I became one in an instant. It just happened. It was like, boom, and then I was like, "Oh my god." I totally know what it is. Um, but it's really, like it's not the most complicated. You feel like it's complicated when you're in it, or, like, if you're having a mid-sized princess crisis, but it's not. All it is essentially you're impatient and you're annoyed with other people. And and then the process is annoying. So like actually going and everything after you've been doing it for so long, you don't feel like you're getting the result of the effort you put in, so then you get mad. And then just don't compare yourself to other people because that's like really sharp. But yeah, it's really easy to do. But that's basically the struggle. It's more of like an extroverted struggle, or it's more like a interpersonal struggle because then you have a lot of that toxic ritualistic reinforcement. That's where you're fighting with people a lot because it comes up a lot. Like I get some toxic ritualistic reinforcement, even being average, but it's so much less. Like it was like constant when I was mid. It was driving me nuts. And obviously I did it publicly and stuff, so it's a little bit different. But it's like I felt like I was just like I have to fight every single day to be like, I'm not fat anymore. I'm not fat anymore. I'm not fat anymore. It was tough because people really are like, what? You know? You're not fat anymore? What? Yeah. You like, it's just really hard for people to understand, especially if you've been so big for so long. That's why I think it comes out a lot, like, if you've been really big, because, it really is, like it's a huge change for other people by the time you get there. So it's a good thing. It is a good thing in and of itself, and then typically you have enough energy to be, like, a hot mess. So it's like, that's vitality, that's energy. So that's good too. Like, it's hard to see the good when you're in the thick of it, but it's all there. Okay, let me see. I've been enjoying your videos since you started. Glad to catch you live. I know. I know. I recognize you. I remember you. I remember the horrible things you said to me. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm totally kidding. You've been good. I never forget a face. And I never forget what you said to me. No, I'm just kidding. That's very MSP as well. So just be careful not to be like that. But I'm totally kidding. But no, I do. I appreciate the support and I do remember. I do recognize you from the 2023 when I was busted. Oh my gosh. I consider 2023 my busted bitch era, period. It was terrible. It was my catastrophe year. It was my all my worst nightmares came true year. Everything I said wasn't going to happen to me happened to me year. So that was great. The year of the loser. But I did lose a lot of weight too. So there's some benefits to losing. That was the closest I was probably to like a revenge body thing. Or like, I hate that I was that stereotype where it's like, I went through a breakup and then I lost weight. But it literally happened to me, which is so cringe, but whatever. I'm a basic bitch. That's why the activism works, y'all, because I'm typical. In a lot of ways, I'm typical. Oh, thank you so much, Scooter. Um, Traditional revolutionary. I live on I I live in a mid-sized princess era. I'm always irritated with people. Yeah, be careful. I mean, the thing about mid-size, here's the thing too. Mid-size versus tortured. Tortured is really hard for other people to understand, and it can be really alienating when you're in that phase. So just be careful with that. I know that's bad to say, but it's just true because people don't understand. When you're a mid-sized princess, people understand you. So there is a lot of understanding. So that's a huge difference too. I really need to do a video breaking down the differences between the two of them because they're both kind of similar. Like there's some aspects that are similar. Like you are competitive in both. Because I just watched like my tortured Mo video where I kind of like talked about the whole thing. And I even said I felt competitive or insecure, but it's more introverted. It's more of an introverted era. So it's like you feel that inside, but you don't act on it or you don't say it as much. But like mid-sized princess, it's very extroverted. It's like the opposite. So it's like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean that person has a boyfriend and I don't? What are you talking about? That is horrible. They don't deserve it. They haven't done what I've done. It's that type of attitude. And it's so like awful, but it's also kind of funny and like people understand that. It's like it's understandable. Whereas when it's like I'm tortured and it's like I don't know how I'm going to live without hinging. I don't know. I don't know how anything like nothing is ever going to be the same in my life ever again and I just don't know how to move forward like this. And like you see how different it is? People be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" People be like, "What?" huh? And people are like a lot of the general population, they're like, uh-huh, like they don't know what the hell you're talking about. So it's hard. Like that part of it is hard. But it's so necessary because it's like I think like as far as it's from a toxic ritualistic perspective, the tortured era, it represents a time where you deal with the fact that you're not in control. And it feels very vulnerable because of that. So it's hard, but it's so rewarding. Oh my gosh. And then I've seen people where it's like they needed a tortured era so bad and they never had one and they're like so weird now. Like some of the when I was doing my mid-sized princess era videos, like some of the people that took Ozempic that didn't do any of the psychological work, they were like really weird, like psychologically after. So I mean, nobody wants to do a tortured era because it's kind of miserable, but it really, really helps. So I'm just saying, it really, 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 really helps. Hold on one second. Let me see. Okay, let me see. I was fat too 20 years ago. We can keep it off. Absolutely. Absolutely. My ex left, but I lost all the weight. I mean, there is something about it. There is something very catalyzing about that. I think for me too, which I don't want to get too into, this is like my SMO Eras tour, but there's a lot of deep rage when you're losing weight from a SMO perspective too, which people don't talk about that, but there's a lot of rage in it. There's just a lot of everything in the SMO era. But I was so like, and the thing is, my ex was avoidant as well. Like we were like a double avoidant thing going on. And so he like left and I don't know if he thought I would chase after him, but I'm like, honey, like I think he thought I was clingy. And I was like, honey, I'm not clingy. Like I'm avoidant too. So he left and I'm like, okay. And I felt the same relief that he probably felt, which is terrible. But and then I was just so mad at him. And then I was mad at myself. I went through like all of it. It was horrible. Because then I was like, why was I in that for so long? And why is this? And why is that? And blah, blah, blah. And what was I thinking? Da, 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 da. And, you just have so many feelings about it. It was so awful. But that was kind of like, I think I just reached that point of spite where I was like, I'm not going to let him doing this derail me. I was like, I plan to do this. It's spring. I got to do it. And he did it right in spring. And I did the classic thing, right? Where I asked for a bigger commitment. And then the avoidant ran immediately. And then I let him go. Because maybe I was so avoidant that I asked him for that so that he would leave. Because I was kind of done. And it is what it is. But I'll never know. But it was horrible. So, avoidance suck. That's all you need to know. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like that was karmic. It was like, you bitch, like you've been so avoidant throughout your whole like life. Well, now you're going to be totally fucked over by an avoidant ex. So there you have it. So it's happened to me now. I get it. To all my anxious attached people, I went through it too. And it's awful and etc. And I'm over it now. I'm not doing it anymore. But anyways, struggling with the last 30 to 40 pounds, inspired to see someone get it done. Congratulations. Thank you so much. My mom has a toxic ritualistic. I look at it from the outside like, what the F is wrong with you? I've tried reaching her, but she's very much in the I'm always right and everyone else is wrong person. It's so hard. I mean, you have to understand, like, it's a coping mechanism. Her whole life is, if it's severe, then her whole life is built on it. So it's like, I had to literally, like, I love this lyric in But Daddy, I Love Him, which it's like, to me, like the most, as far as musically, But Daddy, I Love Him is like the most quintessential tortured era song. But the part where she says, like, I'd rather tear my whole life down than sit here and listen to all this bitching and moaning. When you are so deep in it and you get rid of it, you are tearing down your whole life, basically. But it's like you reach that point where you're like, it's like you're brave. Like you're like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And that's what the tortured era is about, which a lot of people don't get, is it's an indecision. It's the phase where a lot of people that are very big, they get to that morbid stage and they're like, am I gonna go all the way or not? And so to me, that kind of like, but daddy, I love him thing, it's like, I'm going all the way. I'm gonna burn my whole life down. I don't care anymore. And it's like, it's so like empowering, but it's really hard. Like before you get to that point, it's like you don't want to do that because it's terrifying. It's like truly terrifying. And I know like I can be kind of a bitch about it sometimes these days, but it's just because I have so much distance from it at this point. And I try to like when I was very severe, I talked a lot to the severity aspect. Nowadays, I'm talking more to my MSPs and people that are more mild. It's like you're wasting your time. You need to get a life, things like that. That's kind of a better message for somebody more mild. But when it's tortured, it's like it's hard. So I get that. And the thing is that you can't force somebody to leave it, but it is a choice to stay. So she is choosing to stay in it, but you can't force her to leave. It's it's so but it's so hard. And the best thing that I can do as far as like what I do is just try to increase awareness and I try my best to help people that are getting out or that want to get out. It's like I try to provide that reinforcement, that disenforcement of the problem because people don't get how repetitive it is. And it's like you need to have somebody telling you this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, because it's like that person is saying every day, this is right, this is right, this is right. And then there's all these fat activists that are doing it too. So it's tough, but the truth cuts deeper and the truth will cut through. So just don't ever reinforce her. If she says something that's totally delulu and crazy, just be like, that's not true. And keep it coldly logical. That's the best thing, in my opinion. You are saying what I sometimes think about the boyfriend anyway. I'm an introverted Taurus, Enneagram 5, if that helps. I love. I'm a wing 5. I have a very heavy 5 wing, but I'm a 4. As you can tell, I'm a 4. I'm pretty sure you could tell. Anyways, how do you deal with people in your life who get jealous of your weight loss? You tell them to F off. No, I'm just kidding. You just go full alphabet and you say, you're never going to bring me down, period. That's what you say. No, but to be honest, that's kind of what it is. I know that's extra, but it's kind of true. Like I just listen to Defying Gravity a lot, which is really, really, really gay and like really cheesy. But the sentiment was there, and I'm pretty sure Alphabet is a 5 as well. And I think she's true introvert. And she's at the end of the movie, she's like, I just want everybody to F off and I just want to be free of everybody. And I was like, I feel that sometimes. That's why I like Alphabet. I'm like, period. Oh yeah. No, I feel you there. Well, then if she's 75, I get that. It probably won't change. But just don't just know what it is. Don't let it continue on past you. Let it stop with you. I mean, that's the best. That's all we have control over, at the end of the day. But anyways, let me go back to the other one. Yeah, so that's how I would deal with it. And then other than that, like I just don't you reach a certain point, like in a vanity way era, especially where you don't have to talk about everything all the time. So it's like I wouldn't bring it up to that person probably. Oh my gosh, stop talking to me. That is so crazy though. So if they're gone, just let them go. Period. That is crazy. But yeah, to me, I just think the defying floppity of it all, when I was El Flopba, that feeling of like, I'm going to get out of this. I'm doing it, period. Like, no one's going to hold me down, basically. Um, I think that helped. That helped me a lot. That helped me. Like that sentiment, basically, where it's like, let people say what they're going to say. You have to understand, which this comes up a lot in the tortured era as well, is this idea that you can't control what other people say about you. That's what I call the albatross moment. It's where there's some kind of scandalousness around your weight loss. And obviously from a tortured perspective, it's really harsh and like really stark and it's cut so deep, but it has to do with control. So you can't control what other people say about you. And that's true all throughout the rest of the journey. But yeah, as far as like other phases, mid-sized princess levels, you just go into Elfloppa mode. It works. It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. Vanity weight, just let them go. Just try to just maintain your peace. And, in maintenance or whatever, I think it's just like, it depends on the person. It depends on how you feel about it. If you would try to reach out or something. But if not, then whatever, it's like, jealousy is an ugly thing. It really is. And it's like, especially over something like this, like you could change it, you know? So it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. Funny how everyone tells you you need to lose weight, and then when you do, and then you do down 140 pounds, then they're even less happy, can't win, so don't care. Well, I think the whole thing, like especially within the toxic ritualistic world, is that the struggle is the goal. So it's like they want to see you struggle because they feel the struggle internally. So they want you to also struggle. So if you're not struggling and you're succeeding, then it becomes the opposite within that toxic ritualistic where it's like, whoa, if it's just like people in general, I don't know. I'm not totally snatched. So I don't feel like I have a lot of like just people who are jealous of me, at least not verbally. Um, the worst thing I get now as an average person is like sometimes people will project their insecurities onto me. Like if they've lost a lot of weight, they'll be like, oh, I don't know if we'll ever look good. And, like they'll say things like that, which to me, I'm like, okay, like whatever. I can see it for what it is. So it doesn't bother me that much. And it's not that often. So it's like very, very selective. Or, it's very niche. But again, average is kind of boring. Like, let's be real about it. Average is not like obviously it's kind of a big deal in terms of like my journey and whatnot. And I've needed to experience all of this, but it's the phase where people just finally shut up. I know that's bad to say, but it's like, honestly, I don't have much complaints. It's like, especially coming from the mid-sized princess era where it's like everybody had something to say all the time. And I was like, I felt like I was fighting all the time. And then now it's like, oh, everyone's quiet. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Like, I'm just sitting and watching Twilight. Like I'm probably gonna watch Eclipse tonight, and nobody cares. So it's like, oh, okay, so it's just a trip. Okay, you did the right thing for you and it ended up being the best thing for you. Yes, I agree, Scooter. Definitely misery loves company. I remember feeling so happy when people I knew failed on their diets and so distressed when they succeeded in weight loss. Horrible, but true. Yeah. And that's the thing too. If we've been there, then we understand it. I think for me, I don't know, call it privilege, call it a curse, but I never knew anybody that lost weight ever. Um, there was a moment where I was like, whoa, when somebody I knew became fat. Cause I was like, wow. Cause it's like I had never seen it before. But that's kind of introvert cringe. But literally, like I didn't really have anybody. I'd never known anybody who was fat that lost weight. So I don't know how I would have felt. I probably would have been jealous. I was very jealous of thin people in general. So I'm sure I wouldn't have been like, because I remember thinking about things in terms of like, I don't know if I ever put the words in my mouth or like in my head of like thin privilege, but I would always think about like they're treated better than me because they're thin. You know what I'm saying? Like I would think about this, which is basically the same thing. It's just maybe not the same words, but it's the same meaning. So I was just, It's all a part of it. Will you ever disclose what foods you ate to lose weight? I just ate a lot of different things. Some of my like, when I got really strict, it was kinda weird what I was eating, but I ate a lot of eggs. I'd usually have, like on a lot of days, I'd have some kind of sugar because I didn't have starch at all when I was super strict. Because I would just do what was, like, super easily digestible and, like, what wouldn't slow me down. So I was a little bit less fiber. I was plenty of protein. I'd have a lot of calcium. Like, I'd make sure I got enough calcium in a day, which I was having protein shakes. Like, I don't know, it depends on what phase you're asking about, but if we're talking vanity weight, it was a lot of eggs, protein shakes, canned chicken, even the eggs. I'm like, "I'm never eating eggs again." That's how I feel right now. But I would eat, like, 6 eggs for dinner, like, I was doing stuff like that, and then I would have, yeah, I was pretty low fat, to be honest. For me personally, I was, because it worked better for me, but that's gonna be different for everybody. You have to look at, like, how your body responds, but I always needed carbs, and then I needed, protein, and so I'd have, like, a pack of Sour Patch Kids or something that's, like, 320 calories in a day, or I'd have, like, 2 tablespoons of sugar in my coffee in the morning, like, something like that. Um And then that was basically all the carb I'd have, Or maybe some days I'd have a bit more carb, like, I'd have maybe, like, a bigger amount of candy, because I didn't have bread, like I said, I wouldn't have bread or starch, but that was it. So that was kind of the difference, and then other than that, it was all, like, protein and protein shakes and fat-free whipped cream, and I'd put fat-free whipped cream on cottage cheese, which is so that is so diet culture-y, but it was good. To me, it tasted like a rice pudding. That's what I would eat. I would eat that, like, on a gym day. I'd be like, "I'm gonna have my cottage cheese with my freaking fat-free whipped cream," and then I'd have a lot of teas with stevia and so that works too, a good old tea. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's spelled Rooibos or Robos or whatever. I'd have that tea a lot. And then I'd have it depends on the phase, basically. But yeah, it was mostly like, lower fat when I was in vanity, for sure. And then so a lot of lean protein, some type of candy usually, and then, like, diet culture bullshit, basically. It's crazy. But again, it totally is different for other people. And some days I'd have to be lower carb. Like, there would be some days where I was like, "Oh my god, I need to, like, have pork rinds." So then I'd have that. And then I had a lot of salt, and I had to actually start, like, balancing out my sodium now that I'm getting out of the deficit because I started retaining so much water. I was like, "Whoa, okay, so salt actually does something to me now that I'm getting out of this deficit." So, I mean, it depends on the phase. So that's my question to you, like, what phase? If we're talking, like, the bottom was, like, I'd get, like, a whole thing of cottage cheese, fat-free, with fat-free whipped cream, and I would be, like, my fake rice pudding, basically. So, yeah. And then sometimes I'd have a cookie or something, like, on a gym day. It's like I'd have more, but I started to shift a bit where I was like, "Okay, I literally need to have starch or I'm, like, dying," because it was getting colder. So then I like these Sweet Loren's cookies because 'cause they're a little bit like, they don't have any of the oils or anything that I don't want, and they don't have gluten, all that stuff. So I would have that, and then I'd have, like, either a couple of them in a day or, like, a lot, but then that was a gym day, you know what I mean? So then I'd use that to, like, go to the gym, like, it's a lot of stuff like that. It's so bullshit. Even when I went to LA in July, I ate a lot, but it was literally, like, diet culture bullshit. It was like, "I'm gonna eat a lot so that my appetite will be lower when I go back," and I just go hard, and it worked. It did work. So I don't know what to tell you, it worked because I did it. But it's like diet culture is something else, you guys. It is wild. But yeah, if we're talking like, I don't know, when I was small fat, for example, I'd probably have like like Mike and Ike, it'd be like a 440 calories for my sugar that day. And then I'd have like probably maybe like a full pack of eggs. It was like a little bit more food. Or I'd have like lunch meat. I had a lot of weird stuff, but I'm very like on the go. So a lot of stuff I would have was like portable and stuff. And then sometimes I had to buy pickles because I was hungry, which sucked. I haven't been hungry this year. But yeah, I ate a bunch of weird stuff. That's my answer. That's why I didn't really talk about it because I don't really personally, I don't have that much of a message because it's like you just do what works, basically. And everybody's gonna be different. So I don't like really say anything. Like I can talk about it if somebody's like hypo, then I would give advice for that. But in general, it's like it'll get done, basically. Like you just gotta see what works for you, basically. I need to get better at telling people to F off. I mean, you don't always have to verbalize it. You can just like embody it. I didn't really know anyone that gained and lost a lot of weight either. I was only fat for about 7 or 8 years of my life. I grew up very thin, then I was average or slim until I had my daughter. Yeah. Well, that can definitely be a shift too, because that's like when you have a kid, it's like, especially, um, you know, if you're dealing with like postpartum and things like that, it's like you have a physical shift and then you have a lifestyle shift. And that combined, it can be a lot. And it's understandable to a certain extent. Obviously, it can go too far and then it's like a whole other level. But I think because even like I think for guys, like I think Mr. Snowflake, oh, this is so shady. I shouldn't be saying this. But I feel like Mr. Snowflake did put on a little bit of weight, but I think it's because they had like I think that he had a baby. So even for him, I think it affected him. That's my speculation. I shouldn't have said that. That was horrible. Uh, anyways, but I'm just saying. It wasn't really having my baby. It was being miserable. Oh well, yeah, that's horrible. Yeah, that's really horrible. That can totally trigger a toxic ritualistic, by the way. So I'm glad that you got through because that's bad. Um, I always thought that I would gain a lot of weight after having kids because my entire family did. Fortunately, I spend more time around my in-laws who lives healthy, active lives. It's second nature. Oh, I love that. Hello, Tiny Blue. I didn't know you were up so late. No, I'm just kidding. It's not even late. Probably not. I lost 100 pounds eating protein shakes and eggs too. I know it was super diet culture-y. Like I never got to the point where I made like a freaking cottage cheese pizza like I wanted to, but I was losing my mind. Like if I had to eat another 6 egg dinner, I was gonna like, oh my god, the diet culture vampirism was just I was losing it. Like, I was so angry about it. Okay. Well, he said that like a year ago, Kieran. Okay, I'm being shady. I shouldn't say that. I'm being a bitch now. This is why I can't go live. Anyway, this is why I can't go live. I told you. Um, yes, I appreciate it, Tiny. I appreciate you. I know you do. I know you. People love shade. People do. I know it's bad, but I don't know. I just noticed it. That's all. I noticed. That's so terrible, but I did notice. No judgment really, but yeah, shouldn't. I'm just kidding. No, I think it's just I don't know. I guess like sometimes I wonder about the optics of it, but I don't know. I guess everybody has their own struggles. But anyways, I need to shut up. You guys are getting too much out of me now. My brother gained quite a bit of weight after he got married and they had kids. She's lost most of the baby weight, but he hasn't. Just saying. I'm saying. I do think it happens to dads too. That isn't talked about. But I will talk about it. I'll talk about it. Like, I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Um, I know. I know you love it, Tiny Blue, which I have to say, I do. I've always. I need to stop. I need to not say it, but I'm going to say it because you guys get too much out of me. But I've always adored Tiny Blue's coverage of Rosie. I don't know what it is, but the combination, I think it's like both of your personalities. It just, I just love it. I love it so much. And I love it. And then I was watching Tiny Blue's, like, Girl World morality video. That was so interesting to me, 'cause I liked that. I like how you can I like how people can work in the educational stuff into the, like, kind of like you said, Tiny Blue was talking about, like, working in higher level concepts, like, or even academic concepts into Girl World. I think it's hilarious. And part of me is like, I low key want to talk about some girl world, but then I'm also like, ugh, like it's quite a commitment because I know it's messy. But it's like I was a messy girly pop in my past. So I've been there. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I enjoy the dark anthology so much, especially when I'm out for long work. Oh yeah, totally. Loved your blue and white shirt, Little House on the Prairie. Like, oh, no, it's so oh, yes, I appreciate that, Tiny Blue. Yeah, I think for me, I think the reason it was literally like I started this activism and then I saw the connection because I was like, "Why are they saying all these things that I used to believe?" And I was never a fat activist. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And it's like, if I know anything, I know that problem. And I was like, "Oh my god, it's because they're literally just pushing that, basically." And so then I saw the connection because it's like, obviously, like, when you do this work, it's like you see, like, hundreds of videos, hundreds, constant, and it's like, I used to believe that, I used to believe it, and it's really weird to say, but, I think I said it once in 2023, and one of you guys was like, "You really didn't believe weight loss was possible?" And I'm like, "I really didn't. I really didn't." Like, I remember being, like, a tween or something, or, like, in high school, and watching The Biggest Loser, and I was just like, "It's impossible." Like, I could never do that. It's just so impossible. Like, I'd have to go on The Biggest Loser to do it or something, like, that was such, like, a toxic ritualistic belief of the time, is like, I could only do this if I was on The Biggest Loser. Like, I feel like so many people thought that at the time. So many. Oh, I didn't see what you wrote. Traditional revolutionary. Here, our such fat logic video was great. I love how you went to those beliefs. Yeah, it's well, yeah. People do need to get a life, like, especially at, like, less, like, more mild levels, but it's because I think when it's more mild, people are just not, they aren't being productive enough, or they aren't, like, they're looking for a way to take up their time, basically. So I feel like that's the big motivating factor. It's also a way to, like, have a personality, which is so horrible to say. It's so harsh. Like, I remember when I first said that in my mid era, I was like, this is so harsh. I'm like, but it's true. Like, because developing a personality, it actually takes work. And I feel like a lot of times when you have a more mild toxic ritualistic, you don't want to actually develop a personality. So you can just be the insecure fat one, basically, which is horrible. That is, like, really bad. But honestly, like, it's a lane. Like, I do feel like there are elements of that with glitter and lasers. I think some of it is like, I feel like she'd have issues losing the weight because who would she be without that? And then there's, like, a whole branding thing too, which that's a whole other discussion. But it's like, because that's, like, her brand, which I just was like, whatever. Like, 'cause it did affect my brand too when I lost weight, but I was like, "What the fuck ever, like, I'm just gonna do it, I don't care." But I feel like it would be hard for people that are making a lot of money or who are, like, really successful being so big. There is a financial incentives to stay the same, and that can make it harder too. So I think that that's a big part of it because I feel like Glitter and Lasers, if she wasn't fat, she'd be kinda boring. You know, it's like and she has, like, some extroversion to her, but it's like it's not like, everything's fake. So it's like, what would she do if she didn't have that? And it's like, the answer is you develop a personality, you find yourself, or you build things, you know what I mean? You do the work. You do the work of actually building a personality. And I had to do that when I was mid. When I was in my mid-size era, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, I need to get a life," or, like, I need to actually, like, develop myself outside of fatness, and then that's even more so when you're average, because when you're average, it's like a vacuum. Your body is, like, totally irrelevant because you're not, like, super in shape, and then you're not even, like, overweight at all. So it's like it's irrelevant, so it's all you. It's like, "It's me now. This is just me." And that can be a lot of pressure for people. And so people will rely on the toxic ritualistic, or maybe they'll hold on to that mid-sized princess energy because that can be a stand-in for personality, even at a thin weight. Because that's why you see a lot of thin people doing it. It's because they don't want to actually have a personality or even like just a brand. You know, it's like you don't have to like hate the way that you look every day to have a good brand. Like you can just be yourself. And that's so hard for a lot of people to understand. And I'm like embracing that. And I'm like, I'm a cringy introvert. I was super hard back in the day. I'm like, I'm watching Twilight. Like, I'm just doing it, you know, like I'm a basic bitch, period. And, um, you know, etc. And it's like, yeah, you dipped your toe in gold when you covered Anna, aka Glitter and Lasers. I know, I did. I need to cover her again, but I feel like she's boring. I don't know. I know that's bad, but I'm like, girl, you're kind of boring. Like, I try to cover her when she does something of note, but I feel like it's like getting more and more rare that she does, which is really harsh, but I'm just being honest about it. Biggest Loser was my fire too. Yeah, totally. I had a coworker who gained weight just to audition for The Biggest Loser. Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible, terrible. That's just horrible. Um, she'd be so obnoxious, no one wanting around her. As a True Blood girly pop. I remember True Blood. I don't think I was able to watch it. I didn't have HBO. I don't think I did anyway. Um, oh my gosh, you're not gonna get kicked out. It's okay. It's okay. I will tell you guys how I fell into Twilight. Okay, so Twilight happened to me. I was forced into it by Haley Williams, essentially. So I was a major, I will just say I was a para whore in high school, like full on. And we love calling ourselves para whores. And because like back then, I don't know if it's still like this for like Gen Z or young people, but like you would fight about like what band you liked in forums and shit. And you know me, I'm a fighting girly pop. So I would be fighting in those forums. And I'd be like, "Well, I'm a Paramore fan." And they're like, "Okay, whatever, para horror, you know?" So then we started taking it on. And then Haley was like cheesy and she was like, we're a para family. And I'm like, ew, no. But anyways, the point is, think about 2008. What was like a song that was on the Twilight movie? Decode, Paramore. I love the aesthetic. I love the woods. I loved Haley. She dyed her hair like this deeper red color. And I was like, I have to see Twilight because I have to support Paramore. And so that's I just went to the movie. I literally saw it with my grandma in 2008. And then after I saw the movie, I was like, I have to read these books. And like back then it was like, ooh, you know, like you're a boy, you're not supposed to be reading Twilight, you know, so I would like hide it. in my backpack at high school and everything, and I still read it. I'd read them in class, the whole shebang. I could not put it down. It was so weird, but I was obsessed, and I yeah, so anyways, I'm, like, reconnecting with that now, basically. And then I was looking at it through, like, an avoidant slash anxious lens, kind of, and I was like, "Oh," I'm like, "Edward's anxiously attached." And I was like, "And I think Bella's normal. She's just secure." And it was the moment when Edward was in New Moon and they were fighting or whatever, because he, like, leaves. For those of you guys who haven't watched it, he leaves, and then she's, like, all tore up because he left. And then Edward came back, or, like, they reunited, and she was like, "You told me that you were leaving or whatever," and he's like, "But you believe me so easily." And I was like, "What in the anxious attachment bullshit is that? Like, I'm gonna break up with you, but then be butthurt because you believed me too easily." I was like, "Oh my gosh." So, we love. But anyways, that's like it's like I'm combining things because it's like I'm trying to figure out, like, why the hell did I love this so much when I was in high school, you know? It's so weird. Um, but it is what it is, you know? You find yourself I think high school is, like, a very, like, canon event for the toxic ritualistic because it's usually when people start. So it's like you tend to go back there a lot because it's like that's the before times or, like for me right now, it's like that's when I started trying to lose. It was like around college, like my freshman year of college. So it's like to think about like who was I before I was losing weight? I have to go back to high school. And so here I am, you know? None of the girls blow my mind more than Alexandra and her constantly getting caught lying with filters. Yeah, that is a trip. As well as linking clothes and it's still showing size 26 when she's claiming a 16. I'm not I don't know enough about her to be honest. You guys are gonna get me into girl world, I swear. I swear. I think so, Tiny Blue. I think it is so bad it's good. And it's just I love the aesthetic. I also was like obsessed with Robert Pattinson back in the day, so that probably helped. But but anyways, I don't want to get into that. I feel like I was just, I don't know. It was just a perfect storm. It was like a perfect storm of everything all at once, all together. Oh my God. But anyways, you know, plus it's just like peak high school drama. Like you have to admit, it really is. And I was a high schooler. I was actually in high school. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, and then I can't really react to Foodie Beauty because she grosses me out too much. Like I've watched some of David's reactions to her, and I'm so disgusted. Like just because she's gross. Oh my god! Don't get into Girl World. It will take up too much of your time, but you will love the drama. The thing is I do love the drama. I do, but I just don't know because I feel like the audience is kind of. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I don't know. But again, it's like Tiny Blue, like what Tiny Blue is saying, it's like I could bring that toxic ritualistic perspective to Girl World and teach more people about it. So I'm like, I don't know. It is very much like, do I go down the rabbit hole? It is a lane though. It's something I could add to it. So I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like if I do that, I have to be ready to fight because I feel like I'm going to be fighting with my audience a lot if I do that. So I need to be strong, prepared, ready to execute fully back into my like restored and ready to fight, basically, is I feel like where I have to go. Plus, like, I don't know. There's literally already somebody named Alex in there. I once had a comment that was like, "Oh my gosh, like you even have the same name as Alex's Shook." And I was like, as if I chose my name. Like, that is so extra. Anyways, but they were like, "Why do you hate fat women?" You know, they kind of made that comment and they said that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't choose my name. Anyways, I like my name for the record. Uh, okay, no problem. Traditional revolutionary. Have a good night. Oh my God, rep t-shirt. Love. If you want to tie your toxic ritualistic to girl, that would be cool. Especially to Anna and Rosie. Yeah, I know it would work. But that's the thing is it's like it's just a very touchy world. And like I said, the girls, they do fight too. It's like I have to be ready to fight if I get involved. But I'm not like making a commitment to it, but I'm just saying I am tempted. I do want to cover Anna, but I feel like she's too boring. I know that's mean, but I'm just being real. Like, I'm like, Anna, you need to do something. Like, I don't know. I don't know. No, I would never. Trust me, bad banana. I don't talk to people. Like, I will never. I'm introverted. I mean, I do talk to some people, but I would never. I'm very introverted. So I wouldn't do that. I know ALR lost her memberships, but I don't know if she's officially demonetized, which I wouldn't be surprised. I know I need to catch up on stuff, but again, it's like, I don't know. Like I said, I think the whole stream I've been talking about how it's like I'm in a flux or like an in between. Like I'm in between eras, but I do feel like I could talk girl world. I feel like it. So I'm like, that is something I could bring to it. That is an activistic thing I could do. But it is like, I know it's serious. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I get it. I get when people are like, don't get involved, don't do it. I get it because it is a lot. But I've been in some hot mess. Like I've been in hot messes before. So I know how like all that stuff goes. Like I might be able to handle it. That's what I'm trying to say. It's real. Okay. Interesting. Wait, so what is the TOS, Tiny Blue, if you can say? Or like, I don't know. Did you do a video on that? Because I should watch it if you did. Because I do need to know that. I'm sure Mr. Snowflake did too, but I don't know. I wonder what the terms are because I know YouTube is oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because they have been pretty strict about certain things. So I could see that. Interesting. But I'm sure she's probably freaking out. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys. So I think I'm gonna have to get going because I need to watch Eclipse. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually gonna film something for members tonight. So I'm gonna do that now. But I appreciate this so much. So much. Yeah, what other job is she gonna do? I know. You have to be careful how you live by the sword. The Rachel ALR scandal recently is one of the first casualties. No, I saw. I did see. I know. I know. I have to take it seriously. Like if I'm going to do it, I need to be strategic. So, but I'm not ready yet. It's not happening now. So we're continuing on. But thank you guys so much for being here. I should do this again. I should. I need to get over whatever the hell was wrong with me. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. But yeah, no problem. You're very welcome. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.